Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions, and all the Foxes banter you could ask for. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Well then, Mahrez has made something of that. It's Mahrez! 2-0 to Leicester City!
Next to him, Anthony Canoca finds Wood. Wood should score. Wood finds Canoca. Yes! In!
Here comes Leicester again with Heskey and Ibbett! Oh, this is incredible!
Got Jamie Vardy with him. Jamie Vardy sets off.
Jamie Vardy!
Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube.
Good afternoon, good evening. No, it's not evening, it's good afternoon. It feels like evening to me. Welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses. We are here for an impromptu little stream about one or two players. But first of all, make sure to get all your comments in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button as well and subscribe. So, let's start with it. Done deal, according to multiple sources and Foss Hub as well. Foss Hub's a busy man. He's probably sweating in his basement, just like typing away. But Julian Carranza has all but been announced for Leicester City on a loan with an option to buy, apparently. Feyenoord to Leicester. So let's start talking about it. Neil, I'll come to you first, mate. We finally got an outfield player coming in.
Well, we've never thought we would see the day, would we? But we have. We've got someone. I mean, look, I am one of those that, like, I'm realistic, right? I think this season you're going to get a lot of jobs worth players, right? I think you're going to get a lot of players who are unlikely to be able to make the step up till next, if we get to the Premier League. But at the same time, I think we do need bodies. We've been crying out for that striker. And the one thing I'll say, I'm sure you'll bring up the details in a second, but he did quite well in the MLS. And if you look in the Championship's had very good pedigree with players from the MLS. Like, obviously got Josh Sargent, although he didn't really play in MLS, he was just signed from sort of a schoolboy level. But you've got like that, was it the West Brom cycle? Was it Daryl Dyke, as he called? Southampton just signed someone. Pretty good record. And his work rate and stats look okay. So look, we still need a lot more, if you ask me. I think, I was really pleasantly surprised by how well we played against. Well, we didn't play that well, but it was a great result against Birmingham. But we need a squad. We haven't got some, so we need to make some signings. And we're crying out for that striker. Hopefully, someone who isn't just a 9.5, but actually can attack the last line. So look, let's give him a chance. And I think just loaning a striker for a season. He's played in the Champions League, played in Feyenoord. That's a decent level for someone in the Championship. Bring it on.
Yep, Manny, mate, over to you. But we're going to bring the data up and bits like that in a second. But I'll come to you first, mate. We needed a striker. This guy, it's hard to say whether he's going to be that goal scorer for us or not. We don't quite know yet. He has scored goals at other clubs before, like Anil said in the MLS. But nonetheless, it is a striker, and it looks like he's a Leicester City player.
It's a body, and we wanted a body, didn't we? We needed a body, and beggars can't be choosers at this stage. And he's a quandary. He looks like he could be okay on paper. He sounds good, 25-year-old Argentinian striker. Sounds quite sexy to me. And those in the chat groups will know that I have a contact at Feyenoord who's the former commissioner of Feyenoord. So he's a pretty serious. He was a pretty serious guy at Feyenoord and massive Feyenoord fan. And he was a big fan of Calvin Stengs, who we were linked with last week. He said this player's not quite so technical, but they've only had him for a year. So it's not quite the technicality you might expect from an Argentinian player, but he's clearly a decent player. You don't get to signed by Feyenoord or play by Feyenoord in the Champions League if you're not a capable footballer. And I'm just doing a bit of quick homework, and apparently he scored in February of this year against Milan, which took Feyenoord to the last 16 of the Champions League as a sub. So, it sounds like a pretty decent option on a loan, especially. Let's have a look at him. Let's get to know him before we actually committed funds. Nice to get someone through the door. And despite some mixed reports about his ability and his sort of absolute quality, remembering the kind of league that we're in and the kind of play that we have. And I watched, sorry Middlesbrough, sorry Sheffield United, I watched some of your strikers yesterday. There's a lot of average strikers in this league everywhere. So even if he's average, he'll fit right in.
I mean, I like it because we were saying earlier, it's common sense this, but it's a loan with an option to buy. And you saw Leicester City last season have 2 loans with, well, they were technically obligations if they played so many games, but Akgun and Fatawu now 2 years ago, sorry. Now Leicester, basically, if the player is a hit, you have the option to make him a permanent signing. If you don't like him or he's not really impressed, then he goes back. It's as simple as that. And I don't know what the figure is being talked about. Do we know for the option? But it's going to be under 10 million. It's not.
I reckon it's something like 5 to 7 because that's what we were linked to with Steng. So I mean, we're completely guessing that, but I don't think it seems that far fetched to assume it'd be something like that.
I'm sure Fosshub will let us know. He's in the chat. I mean, Fosshub, like I said, working hard. He is going to be doing us all a favour over the next 24 hours. He will be in the live chat tomorrow during the deadline day stream, keeping us up to date with anything. And also, can I just say a massive thank you to everybody in our community group chat, because there's a couple lads in there who every time they see something, even if it's just a slither, they will send it to me and tag me. So nice one, boys. I'll be in the gym at like 5 a.m. and I'll get a message like, "We're signing this guy." I'm like, what? But yeah, go on, Manny. What were you going to say, mate?
About the hardball fee final. I've been told that Van Persie, who's their manager, is basically not playing any games. He's decided who he likes and who he doesn't like, and if he doesn't like you, he wants you gone. Not maybes, not hang around, not give you a chance, see if you can impress me. He's made his decision, out the door. So Feyenoord would be quite amenable to a deal, I would think, for several players that Van Persie doesn't like. And just on a separate issue, I just want to say, look at the state of you today. What's going on? You look like Fozzie Bear after his stag do. What's going on? It's been a rough day. It must have been a good night, I tell you.
It was a good nightmare. I'll tell you where I went. I ended up in the Loaded Dog, where I've never been to the Loaded Dog. Never.
Is that place still going? I used to go there when I was like 17.
I've never been there. Yeah. Apparently, yeah. Kate did say this morning it's been there for like 30 years.
30
but
years.
yeah,
I was there when it opened.
Well, I saw online there was a pool table. I was like, we're going, because I still stand by one of the best pool players in Leicester. So there we go. Right. I've got the body for it. I've got the body to be a pool player. Right. We're going to talk about Bilal shortly. I have, though, just seen, and we'll bring it up in a second, I have just seen he is on the tarmac at East Midlands Airport right now, Bilal El Khannouss, ready for his flight to Stuttgart. So, so let me bring up a couple bits of this Julian Carranza. So here is some of the data. So obviously we've got this, and we've also got this. And Neil, just off the base of what we're looking at here, what type of player do you think he is going to be for us? What will he bring to the club?
He actually looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Looking at his stats, because he seems like an all-rounder. Like, what I was expecting was another just hard-working pressing machine that didn't really do anything. But if you look, he actually does score goals, this guy. And he's also good, it seems, at progressing the passes, linking up play. So I think at this level, it looks like a decent signing. I mean, we'll have to see, right? Because we could have gone for like one of these more sort of like, journeyman type strikers, like a Chuba Akpom, a Danny Ings or something like that. But this looks like a player who's going to be like relatively, I think, injury free, famous last words. But someone who can press, link it up, get on in. But yeah, for me, what we've been crying out for, I think, is we need someone who just knows where the back of the net is. And it looks like this one's not too bad. But look, who can honestly say we know what we're getting until he plays, right? He could be absolute guff, right? But if he is, the fact that we just got him on the loan should be okay. But just remember, Locks, that you and we were talking about Odson Edouard last season. Do you remember we got the charts and we go, well, look, Ipswich have signed Liam Delap. Haha, what idiots. And we signed him. We've clearly got the better signing, and that one aged like absolute milk. So, let's wait and see how he does. But I think he'll be pretty decent in the Championship. Maybe 10 goals he could get for the season. We'd probably take that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're going to do is, whilst we talk, is we're going to play the videos, which we love to do.
Go ahead, let me read you a few things that one of my best friends, ChatGPT, told me about. And, according to that, he said, prolific at MLS, hat-trick hero multiple times, frequently recognised as MLS Player of the Week. Team of the match day lineups, they must do a, MVP of the week, guys. This Julian Carranza, he's hot. He's feeling hot today. Hat-trick hero. So you can imagine that, they probably quite liked him over there. So it'd be interesting to dig out a few media clips of how they reacted to some of his goals, because they'll be analysing more than we can just find from just the clips, and they'll see him. So I guess there is some information out there, and he's played at, MLS actually isn't as bad as people think. There's several players. I keep using John Duran as the benchmark. John Duran came from Chicago Fire at £18 million. And that guy walked into the Premier League and was ready to score goals. So it's like I said, on a loan. Has anybody got a better option on loan? So no, I think this is not a bad one.
On that, just quickly, because to be fair, there were some other strikers that went on loan, right? So you had Chuba Akpom, Danny Ings had the 1 season signing. I'm sure we can look at some of the transfers. There will be some other ones, but I'm just curious because I think knowing you, right, you still don't want to have these old cloggers. And the thing that I like about seeing this guy here is he looks mobile, he looks strong. You know what I mean? He doesn't just look like.
You make a good point. The standard type of profile that you're talking about, the merry-go-round, quite big, a little bit slow, scores 1 in 5 kind of striker. This looks like a bit more of an actual striker, not a forward. He's trying to get on the end of things. He's trying to finish things. He's a bit more smaller, a bit more nimble, lower centre of gravity. It's a different profile to the more British and physical striker that you might expect. So yeah, that's a good point. What do you think now? Well, watching the clips, what do you guys reckon? Let's have a look.
I like it. I like the look of him. Like you said about the physicality. I mean, I've just seen him body about 5 centre backs. Look at that ball.
Look at that. That's a great pass into the box there.
So look at, he likes to pull away from the striker, sort of almost Vardy-esque, and get into a bit of space. That's what we saw there. So which one to see? Is he on the corner there? So he's running
number 9 there.
He's in the middle. Number 9 again.
Yeah. There you go, poacher.
Well, that's kind of what you want, though, because one point we've made about Ayew is that often his back is to goal and he's not right on the edge of the front line and he's facing our play and he's laying it off. Do we have somebody who's on the shoulder? Since Vardy's gone, you might argue Daka's that option, but we know that's not the case. You kind of want somebody who's an instinct to be in and around the penalty spots, taking shots. How many shots are we getting from those areas? That's what we want.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some finesse to him. I've always said this with Daka, is that Daka's just like the cannon engine. He'll never curl it in.
There you go. So just that clip there, right? So he's the one who receives the ball, and then the first time pass, which is a good ball through that. Look at that first time, plays in the winger there. And yeah, I honestly, I do like the look of him. As you just said, man, a bit of a howler there, but yeah, what you said, like you want a striker who isn't scared to shoot. Yeah, he's not gonna bury them all in the top bins, but at the moment we've got, when Jordan Ayew does play, you've got a player who can hold the ball up well. He's fairly physical. He works incredibly hard, but it feels like shooting is his least of his priorities sometimes, Jordan Ayew, which
particularly
go on.
with our wingers. Remember the wingers that we've got, right? Our wingers are going to get 1-on-1s or even 2-on-1s, but they're still going to destroy their fullback. They're going to be putting they're going to be putting crosses in. They're going to be dribbling their way in. What you want, because they're going to attract attention. We keep saying who's going to be on the end of what their produce, who's going to be on the end of their crosses. We want somebody who's not going to necessarily get dragged out wide too much or go deep too much. We need somebody to be Johnny on the spot around the central area. If anything breaks, if anything drops from Monga's moves or Abdul's moves or Abdul shots, you're there ready to pounce 3, 5, 7 yards. And for those kind of players, they need to be actually smaller is better than big. They'll react quicker. So I kind of like the profile is slightly different to the other 2 options that we do have.
And it almost feels, because he's not English and well, actually, because he's not Patrick Bamford and Danny Ings, it feels maybe like a Martin Glover pick, maybe, potentially.
But look, that's what I'm saying. So we are saying we would rather take a risk on someone like this rather than Patrick Bamford, Danny Ings, Chuba Akpom, That's what we want to see, which I think is the right way of saying it. Because, like, to be fair, that's what some people will be saying. They'll be saying, "Well, hang on a minute, why have we not gone for Danny Ings? Like, he's one of the few strikers that scored 20 Premier League goals for a team outside of the top 6, right? Which is fair. The only other person who could do that was Jamie Vardy, and that's why Jamie Vardy was unbelievable, because he could do it multiple times, right? But we believe that was a long time ago. It's a player with an injury record. You know, he's not the best. It's not someone that we really want. So we want someone. We're talking about the athleticism, the physicality, the ability to play and run a high press. So that's what we're saying. But, you know, it remains to be seen if it ends up being a good or a bad signing.
Yeah.
Argentinians always have a good work ethic, though. You know, I can't think of a lazy Argentinian player that I've ever come across. Like defenders.
No,
he wasn't lazy though. He didn't run around. He was greedy.
I agree. I was being facetious. You're right. And I looked, he played for a team called Banfield. I think that's Banfield. Like a mid-table Argentinian team, but still reasonable. You know, what he really wanted is he played for like River Plate or something like that, right? But
but those players, those clubs, those small ones, all have history of producing. Like, if you go to the history of Banfield, I bet you they've got a lovely list of guys that went on to play for Argentina and Europe and the rest of it. So, you know, I like these guys. You know, they're relatively cheap. He's 5'9". He's quite small. He's been he's actual striker. You know, not a link-up player. And so I think having that mix in, and I'm secretly hoping, you know, we're getting a bit of a history of Argentinian players. Esteban was the first. Now we had Facundo last year. Now we got this guy, and I want to, you know, I love it when we sign them in pairs. So maybe in January, it's a bit late now, but in January we might look at another Argentinian from somewhere to keep this chap happy. His mate, who's he going to go out with? He's not going to go out with you, is he? Look at the state of you.
I'll take him to the Loaded Dog, mate. That's fine.
He'll definitely sign after that.
I'm gonna bring this up, a thread here, which is interesting. Now, does anybody know who this guy is, Jack Warswick? Because I see a lot of his work, and it's really good. Oh, it says they're aspiring journalist, Leicester supporter. Okay. Aspiring journalist. So this is a thread that he's done on Carranza. Carranza. Yeah, shut up. So age 25, 6 foot, Argentinian striker and right foot. Banfield, Inter Miami, Philadelphia Union, and Feyenoord. So now that we've looked at the basics, what has the centre forward achieved so far? Goal of the month winner for his header away at the San Siro versus AC Milan. 63 goal contributions in 95 appearances for Philadelphia Union. Capped at youth level for Argentina. Featured in 7 Champions League games. 215 senior appearances at 25 years old. In terms of positions he is found in, the heat maps show how much of his game is spent in the penalty area. Back in his time in the MLS, he can also be seen off the right at times. Little to take from 2025 Eredivisie, as he started just 9 times. But you can see here, if I come back out, so 2024 there, you can see the heat map. And 2025, obviously, he didn't play as many games there. It says here, so his movement is a major reason for his output in front of goal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer even praised this aspect of his game against AC Milan as it led to a stellar headed goal. So let me show you that goal. So you can see his movement in the box.
Man, they're proper picking up this one goal, aren't they?
There we go. Good goal, that. Good goal. So he also likes to run in behind and play on the shoulder. Quite Vardy-esque, and he has the ability to time it incredibly well. Constantly scanning as well, which really helps with his awareness and movement. The example below supports this as he scans 3 times before receiving and then eventually scoring. You can see that one there. But yeah, so he that's a modern football term, isn't it? Scanning the pitch and all of that stuff. So he has many different ways of finishing, as his shot selection is strong. Overhead kicks, he scored, dinks, finesse, volley. all in his repertoire. Many ways to find the net, which will certainly help when under pressure and facing unique problems. That's the overhead kick, if you just saw that on there, the top left, for Philadelphia. He's relatively strong off his left foot as well, considering his right is preferred. Scored using it from tight angles too, which is even more impressive. He can also strike from range.
So,
despite
look,
being
do you mind bringing up his touch map from earlier? Just because that's what I really want to see, if he's like one of those IU types, or is he something that's, that 2023 one?
He strikes me as a penalty spot box poacher. You know, he's a box striker, more like, say, like a Tom Cannon was earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been looking for that kind of profile for a while. And he looks.
But you can also see, that's not a surprise, is it? This heat map, Anil, that Marty wants a player like this, because you've seen where Jordan Ayew has been.
I was going to say, so if you looked at our analysis show, Jordan Ayew is playing like a CDM. So this is exactly what we want to see. So I didn't want to interrupt you, but I really wanted to see that, because that, I think, is the most important thing. So I think you include that with everything else, and at least, what we want to see is that we sign the right profile of player. That's what I hated with some of the signings we made in the past. I'll never get the Connor Cody one, for example, just like stupid signing. So at least this one actually seems like, okay, someone's got a plan as to how to actually use the player. So he should fit in, even if he's not like sets the world alight.
And the two teams that he played for, Feyenoord and Philadelphia, are high pressing transition teams, by the way. So he's kind of used to playing. He's exactly used to playing the kind of Marty way that they've identified him as being somebody who could ideally fit right in, not somebody who's designed to play in a different system. So it actually is logical thinking.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows as well, because people are talking about it, Man City have lost to Brighton, and West Ham have beat Forest 3-0.
What is going on today, huh?
Hermanson clean sheet, crazy.
3-0.
We've got
3-0 as well. Jeez.
Yeah, we've got somebody in the chat who's saying a lot of him. So Diego Cante says more on the right. He loves dropping back, and he needs people to give him service. He loves pressing; it's his speciality. Just on top of that as well, just continue with this thread. So standing at 6 foot tall, it's no surprise he has scored his fair share of headers, gains separation brilliantly, but also has the physicality to beat his marker. We know how physical the Championship is, and that might be a concern when looking at the leagues Carranza has played in. However, he is up for the battle and wants to compete with defenders, holds his own well, and I think this is very significant when compared to Ayew and Daka. I mean, we saw Daka here, didn't we, on Friday night, just falling over everything, and not even winning the fouls, just going down too easily. As for link-up play, the attacker shows his ability to escape pressure, not scared of the physical battle, willing to play back to goal and open up space elsewhere. One-touch combinations are a feature of Cifuentes' play and are something Carranza can add to. As mentioned above, he links up well for goals and can receive the ball under pressure. So yeah, just a little bit here about kind of how he might fit here. I have been through what Martin Cifuentes said before, so let's look at some of the main aspects. So Jordan Ayew's played every single minute of the first 4 league games. His main role has been dropping in, linking play and dragging defenders. Whilst this worked versus Wednesday, it has also been ineffective too. Both Daka and Ayew have been shown to reduce City's threat at times, which makes sense considering they're receiving back to goals so much. However, even when Ayew has been in dangerous positions, he has been wasteful. Take the chance at Preston where he ignored Winks. And there's this one. I can't remember this one off the top of my head. Yeah, so there's Ayew into the box. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the one where I'm going mad. Look, he's not passing it to Winks. What an idiot.
Yeah. Absolutely. Daka's energy and pressing has been decent, but neither are really well-rounded enough. I think they lack the physicality. Cifuentes even acknowledged Ayew as a 9.5, which was quite a funny comment that he said the other day, Marty. Which further shows the need for a recognised striker. Therefore, Carranza would add that physicality which we have been missing. He can link up play, but also has the movement to get into the right spaces to tuck away chances. I think Ayew is dropping in, but they're not necessarily in the positions to find the net. I'm going to end with this one. There we go. Yeah, that is the last one anyway. The big question when it comes to Carranza is how will he translate to the Championship? Can he return to the MLS form, or will he have a similar output as his time at Feyenoord, where he underperformed his XG? So there's a lot more about Carranza. So let me just see what some people...
Good thread from Jack. Good thread from Jack. Well done. Well compiled.
Yeah.
Give him a follow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I already do. Yeah, absolutely. So let's just see what a few people are saying here in the chat. So get this guy in and a replacement for Bilal. The rat we will improve. I'm sure as the season goes on. Carranza won't flop to the floor like Ayew and Daka. Diego says, my only cons, his first touch is not that good and his discipline can be suspicious. So yeah, right. But yeah, what are we getting, lads? Are we getting a thumbs up for this one? Loan with option to buy? I mean, I just think
I'll give it that sideways thumb.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to give any loan with an option a thumbs down, because what have you got to lose? You know, it's just all right. If he doesn't work, he sits on the bench like Edward. But we're not paying 90 grand a week. I hope that's or an £8 million loan fee like we did for Edward. Don't forget. So this is I don't know.
Edward, it was even worse. We couldn't cancel it, so we couldn't even back out and choose something else. That was the thing that absolutely killed us, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if we just called them and said Calvin Stengs, and they were like, "Well, we got this other guy if you fancy it." And we're like, "Who you got? Who have you got?" Argentinian striker. Oh, tell me more. What's his name? Sounds all right.
Well, we remember what happened the last time we had an Argentinian striker. His name was Leonardo. There we go. So yeah. By the way, yeah, let's just talk about it now because there's just been another update. So Bilal El Khannouss looks like it's a done deal to Stuttgart. Now,
I can't believe this feed, Locks. Come on, I can't believe this.
Mate, Foss Hub has just said it's even less. Foss Hub has just said Stuttgart are advancing in talks, 25 million euros plus add-ons on the table.
Manny, I think it is that there was a clause that if they paid it all up front in cash, maybe you get the deal done, right? So if that's the case, there's nothing we could do about it, right? Like, I think...
Yeah, you're right.
At least we didn't make it us. Of course, he's worth more than that, right? But I think this is one where I don't really blame the club, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, was it worth taking a risk last season, signing Bilal, knowing that you might not really make that much in advance after it? It obviously was. Still a way better signing than Jordan Ayew, than Bobby Reed, probably even than Caleb Okoli. So I think, look, it is what it is. Of course, it'd be better to have more. Maybe that's something to learn for next time round. But clearly, we were trying to stay up in the Premier League last year on the cheap, and this is never going to happen.
I would agree with you. If it's up front, then it's different. When you factor in inflation, and because of our cash flow issues, what we tend to do is if we've got instalments coming down the line, we just cash out early with Macquarie Bank and pay a 5-6% loan fee on that money anyway. So a £25 million loan upfront fee is the equivalent of getting like 28 or something like that. So if it is upfront, then it doesn't sound so bad at 25. But on the surface, 25
maybe they
great.
spend 15 million then tomorrow if they're getting 25 up front for Bilal and they've already cleared a PSR for the
another
year.
another loan, maybe another loan. And
well,
I think we're going to move on to
another loan. Yeah, we're going to talk about another loan in a sec. But here is the photo. He's probably taken off now, but not that one. It's this one here. So there's the private jet taking him from East Midlands Airport to Stuttgart. That was about 20 minutes ago. So off he goes. Never mind snakes on a plane. It's rats on a plane for Bilal today. So yeah. Although I can still hear him. You mustn't be far away. Oh, I can hear it. He's overhead. See you, mate. See you in a bit. Okay, right. He's over London now. Will's tracking him. So he's over London now. There we go. Also, just sticking with planes a sec. Obviously, Jamie Vardy is going to, however you say the team's name.
Cremonese.
And Becky Vardy has just posted this on Instagram. While they were flying, they flew over the KP. And she's put a little message there, look, where history was made. Never thought saying goodbye and moving on would be so hard. Forever in our hearts. We'll always be watching. Go smash it, lads. So there you go. That's from Becky Vardy flying over the KP. That was nice. Imagine that. Leaving the country to go sign for your first club after Leicester, and you look out the window and it's the KP. Although it was a private jet, so they probably did it on purpose, didn't they? They probably did it on purpose.
Just swing by, will you?
They're not on Ryanair. Yeah, they're not on Ryanair, I don't think. Okay, but yeah, it is what it is with Bilal. I agree with you, Neil. I mean, this shows, I think, I believe he's on strike. I know some people say, well, he's not because he was at the ground, but I believe he's on strike. I think it was pretty clear from Friday when on Thursday Marty said he is available tomorrow.
Of course it
and
was.
Then he's not in the squad. Remember, Wesley Fofana was also in the stands when he was on strike. I think it's probably a contractual thing that they have to be at the stadium. I don't know, on match day. I don't know what it. I don't know. But yeah. So, and when you've got a player on strike with the deadline finishing tomorrow, I think you're going to have to take a lower bid, aren't you? It's just how it is. This is his agents advised him to do this, and
I don't know about that. I like.
it depends how
the flip side of
serious it was, Manny, because
But
we don't know how serious it was.
That's what I said. It's a game of poker. You've got the hand. You've got Bilal, and the other guys have just got. How much did they get for the German striker? Was it 80?
69 million quid.
Yeah, £69 million. Yeah.
They're going to struggle to spend £69 million in 3 days. We know that they are cash heavy and they are player desperate. And we have that leverage of saying, we're not desperate for the money. Bilal can sit it out. We need an attacking midfielder. And if he stays, he'll be all right next week. Come up with the big cash. Or
the thing is, though, Manny, just to play devil's advocate, is it not a bit similar to how, like, with James Maddison and Harvey Barnes when we got relegated, where you could negotiate for more money, but getting the money, because the thing is we have now got all of tomorrow to make stuff happen. Whereas let's say we waited until 8 p.m. Well, the window would be closed, we couldn't. But let's say we waited till 5 p.m. tomorrow to do it. Yes, we might have got 10 million more, but then you've basically killed your first half of the season because you can't bring players in. Well, look, I'm not exactly happy about it, but firstly, I want to say Marty Cifuentes has done amazing in what is very challenging circumstances. We're above Ipswich, we're above Southampton, we're above Birmingham. Yeah, we haven't played well, but having all these players like on the warpath wanting out, and to manage the situation so well, and there even looks to be a little bit of camaraderie between the teams. So I think all things considered, we've done all right, but it's still going to be very important, I think, come the end of the transfer window tomorrow, what exactly we've got in the squad.
You're right. If you want to spend some of that money, you're right. We know we need.
Yeah, if we don't, that's different.
If we don't, then it's like you squeeze it for until the very end and see how much you can get the medical done, get all that stuff out done, and it's all pending us agreeing a deal. But if you're right, if we need to get something else over the line, and we're going to talk about the other options, then we need to get that money in so that we can spend it before the deadline, of course.
I mean, I know what you're saying about loans. I'm still hopeful. This is the first time I've been hopeful, by the way. Mm-hmm. But just on how the Bilal thing's played out today, that we've accepted, let's say, 25 million euros. Let's say it's all up front, right? Let's just assume it's up front. Otherwise, you would have accepted the Palace bid earlier, right?
Yeah.
You would have done that. So I'm still hopeful we bring in a permanent. I'm hopeful now that we'll bring in a permanent for, even if it's just, a few million quid. It's just, I don't know. I mean, they're trying to sign. Well, they're trying to sign Josh Murphy. I know you don't agree with it, but I'm saying that they are trying to sign Josh Murphy. But they're trying to do it. Although it sounds like Portsmouth's stance is he's not for sale. Like it's
if it sounds like that because we've been linked with a couple of right wingers, we're looking for a backup to Abdul. Because I think we're going to sell him. It's just because we got rid of Casey and we're looking to fill that hole in the squad. And maybe with half a view that Abdul might be pressurised in the next window, or certainly next summer, there won't be any shortage of suitors. And when you've got those two options, though, do you want to look at a 30-year-old, for X million pounds? He's not a bad 30-year-old. I actually don't mind the play. He's all right. He'd be actually a reasonable backup. But it's not what we're doing. It's not what we're trying to do. Getting Rak-Sakyi on loan from Palace, how old is he, 19, 20?
He might be older than that now, but yeah,
but still,
this guy was rated. We wanted him above Abdul Fattah.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he is fast twitch.
Yeah, he's a good player. My kind of player. I liked him for a little while. And, it was crucial that when Eze left Palace, they didn't play him. They played, is it I keep butchering his name. Dennehy, is it? He's a new guy to me. Justin Dennehy, I think his name is. He started the last two games. Maybe someone on the chat will know his name. But he didn't get the spot. So he's like, look, Elise's gone, Eze's gone, and I'm still not getting my spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you know what? He's probably going, like, get me out of here. I need to play games. And that might also be a worry because he's not necessarily going to play games at right wing. But someone asked a good question, and it's maybe something that we could explore. Is he somebody that could maybe move into play at right 8 or even a 10 role?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Not.
He's never. I don't think so. I don't think
if you look at his profile, he's all about the dribbling and beating a man one-on-one. He's exactly that. But I'll say this. I know you don't want to think about it, but they may well be thinking that Abdul is going to go, so we
And
need
then
to get the
he's
next
up,
Abdul
yeah.
in right
Well,
now in
we
case
always
the
say
worst
that.
should happen.
How many times have you said that? How many times have we all said that? That, you know, his best thing to do is get the replacement in before you sell. Even a year or two early before you might want to sell them. And so you can bed them into the system. Getting them in a year or two early is actually quite a common thing with our favourites, Brighton and the rest of it. So I think this is a very sharp loan signing, not necessarily for today, but for the next 2-3 years, because you get him in there, get him as part of it, and I think we could sign this guy. And he
That
would be
profile
very,
is
very
absolutely amazing, by the way.
we like the
That
player.
is Manny fast twitch fibers
Yeah, I like the player. He's a good
in
player.
graphic form. So
I'm all over this kind of player. This is
Yeah.
always what I look for. You know, fast turning circles, good dribblings, good touch, good control, good acceleration, decent awareness, can lay it off, has the vision to not just use speed and be blinkered, but has the sort of 180 or 360 degree awareness to be able to feel pressure coming to you and play cute little layoff balls, attract attention, and then and create space for somebody else and pop it off to them. I think he's the kind of baller that can do that.
And you know, I think, I don't know what Foss Hub maybe can tell us. I can't remember, but you know, this would be a loan. Is there any talk, Foss Hub, of a loan with option on Rak-Sakyi? Or let us know in the chat if that's been mentioned at all. Because, like you said,
amazing.
if Abdul, you know, we are expecting guys, right, for Abdul to most likely leave next summer. Like, I think we all know that's probably going to happen.
I don't
in
know.
my
No, I don't
opinion.
know. No. Do you know? Very quickly, he's got 4 years left, right?
So did Bilal.
Yeah, I know, but Abdul's not the kind of guy who's going to kick off or go crazy. He
Well,
won't.
no, I don't think he
you
would
say that
kick off.
now.
But I
know.
think if he continues as he is in the Championship now,
We need
there
him
will
to
be
keep-
clubs happy to pay 50 million, 60
Yeah.
million for him.
Mate, I want
100%.
more than 50, 60 for
Yeah, I
Abdul.
know you do, but it won't
You
happen.
get
It
60
won't
for
happen.
Braymose,
I
you get
know,
60 for
I know.
Cunha, you get
I
90.
know.
How much did they pay for Anthony? How much
doesn't
did
matter.
they pay for? It does matter
doesn't
because you use that as a benchmark to say, I'm not going to accept 50 million for Abdul because people pay 100 million for Grealish's and Anthony's and Jadon Sancho's and all these other guys. Do you know what? You want to pay 90 million for the likes of Jadon Sancho. I want 90 million for Abdul. The difference is Abdul won't flop like Jadon Sancho did. And Abdul's 21 years old. I tell you what, if he's coming from Stuttgart, they've just got 85 million for this guy who's basically played half a season of top level football, and they paid 80 million for him. It's,
I know what you're saying about
Higher
Fatau
number.
isn't. Yeah, I know you said that Fatau isn't the type, right, to kick off, but I mean, it's just the modern day footballer as well. Like
Yeah.
if we've got Chelsea next summer bidding, I'm just gonna say 60 million. Just bear with me. If you've got Chelsea bidding 60 million next summer, and Leicester are like, no, you know, play hard ball, play it long. Abdul, he will kick off. He will kick off.
okay, but here,
go.
my argument is the number, right? How much did they pay? How much did Chelsea pay for Neto, Mudryk?
I
these
know
other
what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Jamie Gittins, who
Yeah.
you know, how much? 50
I don't know.
is
Yeah.
50 is for a guy who doesn't have Abdul's X factor. Abdul's got more. Abdul's already adapted to England. Fluent in, maybe not fluent, but you know, fluent in English. Not fluent in Leicester, but fluent in English. And he's already adapted. Been a year. He's come back from a strong injury, even better. He's still only 21. Forget the 50. I'm talking 80, 90 plus for Abdul.
We'll see.
And
We'll see.
Look, get it into your head. That's the
You
players.
also said 50 for Bilal.
No, I didn't. Now you're making stuff up, right? So
No,
I
you
didn't.
said 40. We all said 40. We all said 40.
Yeah, we all said
but,
40 in an
he's
ideal
gone for
world. We'd push for
25.
40. Look, you're right. But back to Rak-Sakyi.
Yeah.
If you sell Abdul for whatever price you sell him for, everybody again knows you've got all that money, and so if you wanted to buy a Rak-Sakyi at that stage, the price is going to go up 30-40%. So if you get that person in the room now, get them adapted to the coaches, hopefully fall in love with the club and the fans and the rest of it, then we could pick him up for a relative bargain. I doubt Palace would give us an option. I don't think they would give us an option.
Well, just to
straight
add to
loan.
that, Fosshub said that Leicester want to sign Rak-Sakyi on loan from Palace before the deadline. Palace are reluctant to let the winger go without a replacement. So if they bring in a replacement, I mean, maybe in a year's time they will. You know what I mean? It just depends on if I'm just saying if the option's there and Abdul goes next summer. Let's just say he did go next summer, then this would be a good replacement.
If he likes the place after being a year, he might turn around and say, Palace, I want to stay at Leicester. I don't want to come back. I don't want to come back. I don't want to sit on the bench at Palace. I love it here at Leicester. Get a deal done.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be loan with option or maybe even obligation.
Yeah,
I think if we get promoted, something like this.
Yeah.
I'll take that deal. I would like that deal. I'd like that deal.
Maybe like Anil. Maybe if he plays a certain number of games like Abdul. And
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about, we're not covering everybody because some of them are just flash in the pan rumours. If there's any more tomorrow, well, we'll be doing a big one tomorrow. But there's been one, you already know who you two know. There's been one rumour over the last 24 hours that I would fucking love. And I actually said that if this happened, I would nosh off John Rudkin.
Is this his Ducks' favourite nationality player by
No.
any chance?
No.
Who is it?
No. Where is he?
Is it a Swedish guy?
Nope. Jordan James.
I thought it was the Swedish guy that you wanted.
I like it. But he's not been rumoured. It was just somebody said we should sign him. Jordan James, Leicester City are apparently, very loose rumours, but apparently in talks of some kind to try and sign this guy. I'll tell you what, Anil, I'll come to you first, mate. If Bilal's going for 25 million up front, we can absolutely pay 6-7 million for this kid.
For sure. Well, I think at championship level, he's a really good signing. I'm not sure if he would or wouldn't make the step up to the Premier League, but I think he could do. Right. So that's
21.
what I really want in a signing. You want someone who's definitely going to be good in this division, and you're hopeful that it's not someone you have to completely replace if we get promoted. This guy, I know that it might sound good or bad, but Congerton wanted him at Atalanta. But I think that if Gasperini wants a player, that says a lot about a player. Good engine. Of course, he scored 2 against us the last time we played Birmingham. You might remember that game aeons ago. The only thing I'll say is I think he's more of a box-to-box, like where Louis Page is playing at the moment, rather than being like a controller type. But yeah, I think this is a good signing to make if we can. You want it on permanent, I would take it option with a loan. So loan with an option or obligation. But I am surprised actually that some of the other championship teams haven't gone for him, because I think he's much better than some of the other ones that you've seen linked, to be honest.
Yeah,
someone like Birmingham might go for him or something like that. You know, they're splashing a bit.
Well, that's where he came from. I thought
he'd go back. Like Damari Gay's gone back, hasn't he? I thought they might.
I think they were linked with him. I think they were linked with the return for Jordan James at one point. Can I just say, by the way, no, it's not because he's Welsh. I actually don't like Wales. Right? I don't watch Wales. I don't like Wales. I don't like Welsh players other than Gareth Bale. But yeah. That's not why. I just think like you said, we were first linked with this guy about 2 years ago, I want to say. Yeah. And again, I think he's a really good player, and he makes sense, right? Because I know, you said, Anil, that he's more of like a box to box, right? But with a hole now in the squad and in the team, I suppose, with Bilal, I think this guy would be I think he'd be a good fit as well. I'm sure he'd play every game, and I think the reason why Atalanta wanted him is this guy compressed, like he's got a proper KDH style engine. I don't know if any of you saw Kieran Dewsbury Hall for Everton yesterday, but
amazing yesterday.
Again,
like more than forget the goal, forget the assist. The thing that was there, which they've been lacking for so long, Everton, is actually like the heartbeat of the team. That just like the Duracell bunny, and so having someone like that.
Running power was obscene. How the runs off the ball, the running to the touchline, the running back, just keeps running. He's honestly Energizer bunny, that lad. But I've got a tip for the City fans out there. There's some good news. If you have the foresight to have JJ on the back of your shirt, because not only is James Justin gone, don't worry, we're getting this guy in, and if this guy goes, don't worry, because we've got a right back coming through the youth too. So JJ, little tip, put that on the back of your shirt. Should last you a good 10 years.
He might not be number 2 though. I want to just do it because I'm cautious of the time, so I just want to bring this up very quickly. Just on Jordan James, I honestly think this would be a great signing, and I would really, really, really like this. So yeah, you can see him. Look at that ball, by the way. Here he is, and he's quite tall as well, isn't he, Jordan James?
Yeah.
I didn't realise at first, but. Yeah, look, he's got good vision on him. This was against Leicester. Actually, he scored 2 goals, didn't he?
He was
I
he was
remember
amazing
that.
in this
Yeah,
game.
he was
He
good.
didn't
He had a
deserve
good
to be on a
game, yeah.
losing team.
Yeah, it's
There's the
good
goal.
technique, huh? Good technical player. I remember it being like not nasty, but a bit edgy, maybe. Like
That's
Yeah.
what we like. Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
need.
well,
Yeah.
that's what you
We've
like,
been
yeah.
lacking that. I think he's a sort of player that can become a captain easy as well.
Look at that.
So I'm
Yeah.
surprised, like I say, that if I was Birmingham, I'd be all over it. But yeah, I would definitely sign someone like this. Very good player.
We said we wanted a midfielder and a striker. If we got Jordan James and Carranza in, I think we'd be happy that was adequate now, and we'd still hopefully have a bit of firepower in January should we need somebody else.
Man, his passing's a lot better than I remember. I'm doing him a disservice. I was just saying that I felt he was just like good at getting up and down, but not necessarily someone who's going to be dictating. Because for me, man, like I say, we haven't had control in any of the games that we've played this season. Even against Fiorentina, we didn't have control. What I want is that Tillemans type who can just, when you're under, because we were under pressure against Birmingham, who's going to put their foot on the ball and just say, I'm going to slow it down. The game's going to be played to my pace. I'm dictating the game. That's what we really need, in my opinion.
Yeah, we want a wingsputter who can handle himself physically and can get his foot in as well. And he looks like he can cover those bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Sign him
telling
up.
you. I'm telling you.
You know, my worry is though, I just hope it's not one of these. We've been linked with a lot of names, and it's easy to get excited about a name, but until I see medical or or that kind of thing, like literally, that's just why people love these flights, because they don't believe it until they see the sort of flight going off the ground. I mean, Big Bad John in Brazil got on the flight and it still didn't happen. I believe it when I see it, kind of thing at the moment.
Yeah.
But in terms of recommendation, Jordan James, absolutely. Carranza on a loan, absolutely. Either of these deals, if they could be loans with options, then you hold all the cards. That is the perfect deal, a loan with an option.
Yeah.
He has passed the chat check. The chat are loving
There you
Jordan
go.
James. So
Get him in. Yeah.
Get him in. Yeah, I'm telling you, I would be absolutely buzzing with that. I'll tell you what, even I don't get shirts on. I don't get names on the back of the shirt. But if we signed him, I might take my shirt down and get a James.
You're more
Six.
Sid. You're
James
more Sid.
6.
You're more Sid James.
So last few comments here. So King Leicester says, wait till of course we'll wait for that. Basically, offer Rennes what they bought him for plus 10% sell-on clause maybe. I saw somebody say Rennes bought him for 5 million euros.
I thought it was 4.
5 million. 5
£4
million
million
euro.
pounds. Yeah, £4. Yeah, £4 million pounds.
So if you can get him for under 10, I know. Maybe the risk-free, safer option is to get a loan with option to buy, right? But I don't really see too much of a risk even at 6 million. I don't think you're going to make a loss on him because he's 21, right? And he's capable at this level, especially. And I think there's room there to move up as well to the Premier League for him. So Andy says he wanted him to replace KDH. Yeah, something like that.
Very good KDH type replacement. For
Well,
sure.
we need that energy, and I know the two of them did a good job on Friday night, but we need that power and energy in midfield, and not just that. We need players with a sort of an aggressive mentality. Like we said, edgy. Somebody who's there who wants to win. Somebody who's not necessarily nasty, but somebody who's in there is like desperate to win. Is 100%er who's aggressive to the ball. And he fits, he ticks a lot of boxes, this lad. And the price, we've been talking about prices all summer, haven't we? Can we find good players for relatively low fees? This guy's a good player. He's 21. He's probably going to be available sort of, in the 5 to 7 range, something like that. That's not too expensive.
Under 10.
You're getting a good player for that price.
Yeah. Okay. He would be great for us, JJ. I would say he's better than Bilal now. Maybe not that, but he's I wouldn't say that, but he's a different type of player. I think he's got an X factor. I don't even care overpaying a little bit for some players. We need signings. I think he's homegrown as well. He'll class as homegrown, Jordan James. So that's also a positive as well. You need to fill squad red rules and stuff like that.
Question, Victor. What's going on with Victor Forrest?
Yeah, don't know.
No, they signed another Brazilian player who can play left back. So I've got a feeling that but you never know though, Manny. At the same time, we're way more active in the market. But I think that's because the Bilal money's coming in. To be honest, so I think Victor's still going to be with us. Yeah. Like I
Foster
said, yeah,
said
this
The
could be Arno
Guardian-
that they signed. Can play left back. Yeah.
Oh, I already started winding Wolfie up on text. I wanted to do a bit more.
They just lost 3-0 at home to West Ham. So to be honest with you,
perfect timing.
Yeah.
Is he? I tell you, what, after the show's done, after his live, find Wolfie's show, and just what do we? What's the correct term to say, Lux? Losing at 3-0 home to Harry Potter. What's an appropriate term to spam him with?
I reckon you go and say Expelliarmus.
Our fans can't spell that. They struggle with expel. In
Okay.
fact, most of them got expelled.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that was it. So tomorrow we're going to be live I'm going to be live from 4 p.m. Until 7, more like, it depends on how busy it is. If there's still stuff going on, we'll go beyond that. But obviously, I'll change the thumbnail as well, guys. Don't worry, I'll get some more stuff, some different people on there. And I was going to say, I think we're going to have a very busy day tomorrow. I think we're going to get the Carranza announcement will probably happen tomorrow, and there'll be, I think we could get 3 or 4. Could get 3 or 4 announcements tomorrow. Who knows?
I think we'll do 4 loans, in my opinion. Why would you not? The only blocker was getting rid of Bilal. If Bilal's gone, then I think we'll. Now, the problem is will there be any good? That's a different story. But I think we will end up with some stuff.
I'm going to make a prediction. I don't like to do this. Harry Winks is going to go. Harry Winks is going to go on Monday, at least on loan. At least on loan for his final year.
Maybe do a swap deal. Maybe Rennes take Winks.
If we're going to get this guy in,
Maybe. Yeah.
I think, and the fact that he didn't play a minute the other day, did he? He didn't play 1 minute on Friday night. Well, the only other player that probably should have played that didn't play 1 minute is definitely going. So,
I could see Rennes taking Winks, trying to get him in on the deal, maybe. Yeah.
Swap
he's
deal.
a good European. He'd suit a European league. Winks would.
Well, he got relegated, didn't he, in Italy? With
maybe not.
Yeah. He's relegation specialist.
He got relegated in this league. So yeah.
Okay, Samara's been linked to AC Milan as well. We'll cover all the other bits and bobs tomorrow morning. And Fossub says he could see a Samare James swap. Yeah, that's true, because obviously he's French. He might want to go back to France. And if there's a lot kicking off earlier than 4, then I'll start early. It won't be any earlier than 3, but we could start at 3. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, join us for that one tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, call and shot. I don't know. It depends on how the deadline day thing goes on for. Probably I would. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how
right. Sure, you should be doing a watch along for Liverpool Arsenal.
No. I'm too fucked to do that today. I'm going to have. I've got Toad in the Hole tonight.
Quick prediction for Liverpool Arsenal.
2-2 for me.
2-2 and Lux. What was it for you?
2-1 Liverpool.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Looking forward to this.
There we go. Okay, all the best. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Anil. Cheers, Manny. And cheers to you, John Rodkin, for keeping us entertained.
Bienvenidos a Leicester, Julian.
Yeah, thank you for that, mate. Thank you for that. And also, big shout out to our sponsors, Match Bingo. Cheers, all. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Massive thank you to today's sponsor, Match Bingo. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football, and bingo, and combining them into one amazing app. Make sure to get your bingo card for any Leicester City game in the upcoming season. Click that link in the description or via the QR code on screen.